Three, two, one.
Welcome to Dialed In. I'm Wade Reed, and I made the mistake of not inviting my co-host tonight. So we're missing Aaron, and apparently we're all very disappointed.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm especially disappointed.
But I do have here our producer, Chris Lindstrom, as
Hey,
always.
Wade, how you doing tonight?
I have a fun story, and I'm going to introduce our guest and then tell my fun story. So here with us tonight is Billy Lyons, Rochester native and founder of Fauve Coffee. And I can't wait to talk to Billy. Billy has wide-ranging experience. I asked Billy for a little CV earlier, and this is like there's 10, 11, 12 places,
Yeah.
different all over the coffee industry, all over the state of New York and the Eastern Seaboard. So looking forward to hearing about that. You guys know how I say a lot that I never sleep?
Yeah.
So I was dropping off a wholesale order today, and this person looks at it and is like, "Oh, is this the order I put in at like 4 a.m. Monday?" I was just like, "Yeah." And the other person working there was like, how do you know that I was awake?" Like my phone dinged and I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, locals order." Like so I really genuinely do not sleep, and that's why I'm glad we're drinking coffee tonight.
It's like, how is it here that fast?
It's just
Like you're not. Are you a drone, Wade?
like,
Are you a drone?
so you got out of bed and went to the no.
Yeah.
I never went to bed.
I've been here the whole time.
Aaron says nothing can be worse than the disappointment I have in myself. I put
he
like
should.
laughing emojis and everything, guys. I made sure he knew this was a joke. And there's the Ryan Reynolds meme
Yeah.
in the group chat too. So Aaron, we miss you, and you are missing out on a really nice coffee. So
Yeah. So actually, why don't you just before we dive in, this is kind of a special release coffee, right?
yeah, it's gonna be. And we'll talk more with Billy about that. But
Yeah.
this is an anaerobic Ethiopian coffee, traceable to farm level. So that's really cool. It's farm direct. So
Which is not wildly common in Ethiopia.
it's becoming more common.
Is it?
So the ECX is becoming more and more of a failed experiment where direct export is actually better for the whole country. And the less, the less there's like a chain of custody there in country. I mean, especially it gets into a lot of the things that I think we've talked about a little bit before about they put on all these micro loans and then they switched all the currency on the interest, and it was this whole big fiasco how they funded basically the war they were making in the northern part of the country, the civil war that the government more or less started. I think since that whole financial aspect is collapsing, we're getting a lot more direct export, and
Oh,
that's
interesting.
we get coffees like this, which is coffee's magnificent. And one of the reasons I brought this coffee in is because it's going to be Billy's second drop for Fauve. So Billy, let's start with like who you are. Let's cover this wide-ranging CV dating back to 2014. How did you get into coffee? Where are you from? Shoe size, social security number.
I'm a size 11 and a half, 12.
Lies. It's bigger. He's a 13,
Yeah.
13,
Should
14.
see my socks.
He's got to order special order shoes.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I was a Pizza Hut boy for a long time.
What is that?
That means
Like,
I worked at
you
Pizza
worked
Hut.
it. I'm
that
like,
I
what
don't
kind of
really-
weird internet slang did we
Yeah.
just get into?
I worked at Pizza Hut, and then I happened to just like apply to Boulder Coffee, and that was back when it was owned by everyone's favorite slumlord,
So-
Elijah.
Now, wait a second. The Pizza Hut at the time, was that still buffet Pizza Hut?
Oh yeah, it was like the last one. It was the one on Webster back, like had the salad bar and everything.
Now, Pizza Hut buffet, the people who are frequenters of the Pizza Hut buffet
Yeah.
are a very specific lot.
Oh yeah.
These people are dedicated to quantity.
Yep.
Because there's very few places you can eat mass quantities of pizza
Yeah.
like a Pizza Hut lunch buffet.
And they did.
Are you like checking their pockets for breadsticks on the way out? Is that that kind of crew?
It was like you couldn't tell if they were them or a breadstick at that point. But
Sir, you are at least 40% breadstick. I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to ask you to pump the brakes.
yeah. But yeah, then I applied to Boulder and worked there for like a couple months, and then they asked me to be the cafe manager there.
Was
even
that
though-
when they had multiple locations, or
Yeah, so
okay.
I was the manager at the Alexander
the
location.
one that still exists? Cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then I also managed the public market, which was crazy because I was in undergrad at the time. So I would on Saturdays open the public market, and then I would have like 2 hours, and then I would close the Alexander location.
Wow.
But we also had the spot over on like Brooks and Genesee at that point too.
Right.
Um, but that one was weird. It was like that one, I think, either got sold or closed down like a few months after I started managing. So yeah, I don't know.
Did they tell you that at the time, or was it just like, don't worry about that store anymore? It doesn't matter.
Yeah, basically. Most of that place was very much like, oh, you know that thing that you were doing for a while? Just don't do that
Stop
anymore.
doing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Counting things and
Yeah.
yeah.
Stop being that.
Yeah, exactly. So the one, I mean, Alexander, that's pretty much a staple in
Yeah.
Rochester. It's been there for a while.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as I graduated from college in 05, and I remember, the first time going into the city was like, you'd go to a Boulder thing because somebody wanted to meet up. And
Exactly.
that was a place where you went, and even then that was still the place.
I moved here in like 2010, and I think that might have been the first like coffee shop we went to.
Yeah, sounds about
Thinking,
right.
you know,
There
we
really
were
like
looking for-
wasn't a lot at that point.
right.
Because
right.
I mean, Boulder also was on Park Ave where
Yep.
Sasso is
Yep.
now.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, but that I think it was Sasso already by the time I got to Boulder.
Yeah.
Or like very newly Sasso or something like that. It was somewhere around then. I don't know the exact.
Trying to think 2014. Yeah, that's probably about right. That's probably about right.
Yeah.
All right. So then in 2016, did you move to Buffalo? Is that how you got the job?
Yeah, so I started dating my now wife, and she was finishing up school in Buffalo. So I was at the time, I was working at Equal Grounds, and then I was also working at the Little Theater Cafe, and I was like sort of a manager at the Little Theater Cafe, and then she went to Buffalo to finish school, and then I was like, it'd be cool if I didn't have to travel back and forth. So I kind of like told my roommate, Steven, to watch my cat for me, and I would stop back on my days off, and I kind of just like weaseled my way into her apartment and lived in Buffalo for the year. But yeah, I worked at a shop called Perks Coffee, which no longer exists, but it was on like Elmwood, like just before like Allentown.
That place was hopping too.
Yeah, that place, lots of food. And then we were like one of the first over winter contracts, I think.
Okay,
which
cool.
was
Yeah.
like before they had shops really.
They're still around. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and their shop is, it's a tiny little spot, but
Mhm.
that's
Is it the one next to the record store? I've only seen it from the outside.
I think they have a couple now.
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. They have a
and-
couple now. All right.
Yeah, and their staple stuff is just rock solid good.
Yeah. Yeah, and then we were also that shop was like one of the first shops to ever carry like Elmhurst milk.
Yeah.
So we got to
Good one.
like do a lot of testing.
Really
with,
good stuff.
Yeah,
Really
with
good
that stuff, and they would bring us all sorts of like chocolate peanut milk and all this like
Yeah,
crazy stuff.
I
that I'd
remember
never
they
heard
dropped
of.
off like hazelnut milk at
Yeah.
Fifth Frame. There was all kinds of macadamia.
Yeah, the
like,
walnut milk is the best one.
walnut's good.
Huh.
I just remember being like, man, alternative milks are about to blow up, and this place is great.
Yeah.
But being in Rochester, you had to buy it by the pallet.
Yeah.
They didn't have like a great warehousing operation at the time,
Yeah.
so we never got to bring it in. But yeah, all right. So, how do you pronounce this? Gulu Gulu
Gulu Gulu Cafe.
Gulu Gulu.
Yeah. So I grew up in the inner city, but then like after my wife graduated, we kind of were like, I had never moved away before. So I was like, you know what? Let's get out of here. And we moved. I had the intention of going to grad school. And so we moved out to Salem, Massachusetts. And I didn't go to grad school yet. But yeah, we lived in Salem for a year, like in downtown Salem. There wasn't a lot of coffee there at the time, but
Yeah.
now there's like a few shops, like there's like Odd Meter and like Kid Dreams and like these like pretty cool like specialty shops there now,
Cool.
but it was just Front Street Coffee and the Gulu Gulu Cafe at the time, and I got hired actually as a cook at the Gulu
Nice.
Gulu Cafe, and because I don't drink alcohol or anything, and it was basically like a craft beer bar, cocktail bar with an espresso machine, and they, like, did not trust that I would be able to, like, serve alcohol because I didn't drink
Because you don't know
alcohol,
what it tastes like,
but
ostensibly.
I started, like, doing research and stuff, and I kept coming up to them like, "Hey, is there an opening on the bar yet? Is there an opening on the bar yet?" And they were just like, and then finally somebody quit, and I got to go behind the bar, and I was, like, the only coffee person there, and was doing, like, latte art and stuff, and it was, like, everyone was like, "What?"
What?
And
How?
all the
Yeah.
servers and stuff, they were like, "You know, I've been getting better tips because you're giving because
you're
I'm giving
latte
people
art."
latte art," and it was, like, the most mediocre latte art ever, but it was just, like, at that time,
In the
there
land of
was
the blind, the one-eyed man is king.
yeah, there was, like, nothing
Yeah.
there that was specialty at all.
That's really fun. So
Yeah.
you've referenced school a couple times. You
Yeah.
wanna share what your training is?
I have a master's in fine art. It's technically an interdisciplinary program. I went to Lesley University in Cambridge.
Cool.
But I'm mostly like a painter and like printmaker by
Soda
trade
grad.
mostly. Yeah, School of the Arts.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, he went to the most notable university in Cambridge, so it's
The
shocking you
the
didn't
one
know
we've
that
definitely
right away.
all heard
Yeah,
of.
one of
Yeah.
them starts with like an H or something. But
Yeah, some
yeah.
subpar
Yeah.
university.
I think I've heard of that.
Yeah.
But I know
I
Congress
could
complains about that
see
one.
them from
a
my
lot.
class. Peons, you know.
So then so you get the opportunity on the bar there. What leads you to Stacks was next? That's what next
Yeah,
on your-
Stacks Espresso Bar. So on my other, I apologize to my wife Hannah, but I have made her move essentially every year that we've been together. Because once I got out of Rochester, I was just like, oh, I need to flee
Just
places.
keep moving.
Yeah, I got to keep it
Just
moving.
keep going.
But yeah,
I'm not
we
running
moved.
from anything.
Yeah, just my past. But
Why is your grass so green?
yeah, but yeah, I was just like, oh, Albany could be a school I'd go to. It could be, so we should just move to Albany. And I was like, I've been to Albany once. It was fine. And then we moved to
Yeah,
Albany.
Albany's fine.
Well, we visited
Albany's
Albany.
a solid fine.
Yeah, we visited Albany a couple times, like before we had made the move, and we were both kind of like, "Oh, this is cool." Like Hannah has family up in like the Saratoga region, stuff
Yeah.
like that. So we were like closer to like some people we knew. And then I knew that there was a skate shop in Albany called Seasons, and I went in there because I had like been following them online and stuff, and I started talking to the one owner, Trevor, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm thinking about moving here. Like we're trying to find apartments. I'm trying to find a job." He was like, "Oh, here's a landlord's phone number. Oh, you should go down to Stacks down the street. They're like a super good coffee shop, and you should just apply."
Nice.
And I did, and I ended up getting hired there. And I called the landlord up, and he was just like, "Oh, it's just the two of you? Oh, you're a young couple? Oh, you guys don't have jobs here yet?" And I was like, "Yeah." He was just like, "Oh, the rent's only it's like $700." And I was like, "Oh, do you want like a security deposit or any like bank statements or anything?" He was like, "No, you guys are fine."
Wow.
Yeah. And I was like,
Right.
Yeah, it was great.
You like talk to two people and then you live in Albany.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
kind of what I imagine it to
Yeah.
be like.
It's also like you look at the snapshot of a decade
Yeah.
later,
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
where it's like, oh, whatever. Like
Yeah.
you're probably fine. Like the demand wasn't there. It's like, oh, it's probably fine. Yeah, just
$700
show
bucks a
up.
month
Yeah,
is $700 a
Yeah,
month. We'll see you
the
then.
spot
yeah.
we lived in was like, it was a pretty solid location. It was like behind like College of St. Rose, and like there was a grocery store in walking distance.
Dude, can't beat that.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
was awesome.
So Stacks, you said it was your first specialty coffee job.
Yeah. So Ron Greco, the like original owner of Stacks, very like smart coffee person, and I had never like worked at a place that like cared that much before.
Yeah.
And they were in the process, how they had just bought a roaster. But so we were mainly like a guest roast shop.
Sure.
But we'd get stuff from like Black and White and
Oh,
like
cool,
Cat
yeah.
and Cloud and like all these like at the time like smaller spots. And I was like, I've never had anything like this. We had like gotten like Eugenoid coffee,
Oh, yeah.
and like people were buying like $15 pour overs of it and all this stuff. And I was like, this
Wow.
is crazy.
Yeah. In Albany.
Yeah.
Well, that's pushing the limits. I mean, even in many ways now, that's
Yeah.
like
we're
you're seeing all those sourced coffees at a place is that's a hell of an education to be diving into the deep end that fast.
Yeah, and honestly, like living in Albany, I'll say this, I think that the capital region has the best coffee scene of anywhere in New York, including New York City. Like for the size that it is, like they have such like good like heavy hitting shops that a lot of people look over because it's just like, oh, it's just
it's
Albany.
Albany.
But they have like there's like Stacks, there's I don't know if it's Touchy or Tucci or whatever.
Yeah.
But they were Superior Merchandise when I was there. There's Elias Coffee Roasters, which is my old manager from Stacks.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
He's from Colombia, so he like gets all his coffee. He does like mostly Colombian coffees and he roasts it all himself. And he's like a career barista. His name's Hernan. He was like the first coffee person that I was like, oh, this person's done this almost their entire life. And I could like see how much he loved it. And I was like, that's cool.
It's also so interesting you mentioned that. I was in Atlanta, it was maybe a year or two ago. And I ran into a guy who's doing a pop-up that was from Colombia and was only doing Colombian sourced coffees, but he was pulling just wild stuff and he was roasting, but that's all he did was Colombian stuff. And I do like that when you have the depth of availability of sourcing to that level.
Another cool thing about Hernan is he would run to work. So he loved opening with me because I would get there super early and I would have everything almost done.
Yeah. Yep.
And he would run like 10 miles to work every morning. Jeez. And he'd show up and not a single drop of sweat on that guy.
That's
I was like, I
concerning.
don't know. Yeah, it was awesome.
Albany also has like a bigger volume place. What is it? Cruve is also there.
Yeah, Crew Coffee is up in Saratoga.
Oh, it's Saratoga. Okay.
Yeah. Their breakfast sandwiches, probably some of the best breakfast sandwiches I've ever had.
That's sweet.
That maple sriracha bacon. That's the stuff.
All right. And then COVID year.
Yeah.
What'd you do?
I bummed out. I moved back to Rochester. I had to like essentially Stacks. The owner was like, hey guys, like I don't know what's happening. So like we could close down now and you guys could all get on unemployment before everyone else has to get on unemployment.
Yeah.
So he like got us out ahead of it. And then he also like the whole like for a few months like started like a GoFundMe for all of us.
Wow.
And like a few months after I had moved back to Rochester because we moved in with Hannah's parents because we were like, I don't know what's going on.
None of a sudden
I just got like a chunk of money Venmo'd to me.
All right.
Just because he was just like, hey, I got all this money for you guys. It's split up evenly. Here you guys go. Which was cool.
Yeah.
That's also like now when I'm driving through Albany to go somewhere else or going to the Adirondacks, it's like, oh, wow, coffee shop owner treats the employees well.
Yeah.
And also does really good coffee. Seems like I've got places to
did what was in their best interest during a hard time when a lot of people just protected their interests.
Yeah. Ron's no longer with the company, but he sold his like share in it, but now he's a woodworker now and he makes really cool furniture and like wooden bowls and stuff like that.
Great.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
So cool.
So then you moved back out of you had to run away from Rochester again.
Yeah. So during COVID, I was like, all right, I've been talking about us moving for me to like go to grad school for like years at this point, and I haven't done anything about it. So I was like, I'm just going to apply. And then I applied to Leslie, MassArt, like New Hampshire College of Art and Design, because like we really love New England, and I wanted to get us back towards there. And I got into MassArt and Leslie, and MassArt was like my top school.
Nice.
And then the director of Leslie, Ben Sloat, he was like, I really want you to go here. Give me a day. And then he came back and got me a scholarship.
Nice. He just walked into the right office and was like, I need a scholarship.
Like, I'm still like super grateful for that because
that's incredible.
I'm in like obviously some student loan debt because it's America. But I am definitely not in as much debt as most people who have a
Yeah.
master's degree.
Yeah,
So
that's
I'm very
amazing.
grateful for that.
So were you still in coffee in Worcester?
Yeah, so Worcester's coffee scene, they have one kind of specialty shop that's owned by some guy that was in like some pop punk band, and it's like coffee and like motorcycles and stuff. I don't remember what it's called. But that was like the only shop, but it was like I felt like it was very like cool guide. Like when I went in there, like they like it I felt uncomfortable. So I ended up
Not for artists.
Yes.
Artists not welcome.
Yeah, so I ended up so I don't love to talk shit about other coffee shops
All right.
to the public.
Yeah, yeah.
But
into
yeah,
a microphone.
Yeah, into a microphone. But there's this one spot that I worked at in Marlborough, Massachusetts called the
Okay.
Coffee Loft. It was owned by like a 20-year-old girl whose parents bought her a coffee shop. And
She's got the money.
yeah, and I got there and I was clearly the only person that knew anything about coffee, and she didn't wear shoes.
Great
and-
start
That
to a
could not
professional
possibly be a
organization.
problem.
Yeah,
No.
and then she
There-
would be
nothing could go wrong there.
Yeah, and then there was a back room that was just a bunch of beanbag chairs, and they would just be back there ripping dabs,
Huh.
like while the shop was open, to the
Huh.
point where like customers would walk by to go to the bathroom, and they'd just be ripping dabs.
So when you learned about running a business, Wade, what page of the manual was ripping fat clouds
Would be-
during
Yeah,
during
It's around page 31.
blowing straight
Yeah,
cotton.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think most of like the startup books that I've read, it's
Yeah.
in there. It's in there
Yeah.
somewhere.
It's gotta be.
Also, like, why would you wear shoes? You know,
Shoot,
we all know this about coffee shops: is the floors are really clean.
what's the worst that could happen? Not only clean, you never drop glass
Yeah, or
or
hot.
There's
hot,
just
yeah,
no-
just
hot
hot in
liquid
general.
sharp objects.
There's no
Yeah.
None of it,
boiling
none of it.
liquids
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah, so don't go there.
This is not officially endorsed by the Dialed In podcast, but like maybe someone bought her shoes. They bought her
Sure.
a coffee shop.
Yeah.
Maybe they bought her shoes.
Yeah, but then
Practical shoes.
I applied to the like only other coffee shop at the time. I don't know how Worcester is right now for coffee, but
Great AAA baseball team.
It
uh,
looks stronger. I just did a quick search. So it's multiple by the veneer of specialty
Okay.
coffee shops.
that's good.
There's a number that have at least the veneer of being a
Yeah,
specialty.
I
coffee
worked
shop.
at Bean Counter Cafe and Bakery, which was essentially just a bakery,
bakery.
that like the one owner did like coffee as like a hobby. We served like La Colombe coffee there. It was,
Sure.
yeah, it was fine.
I
But-
love La Colombe.
yeah.
They're like definitely one of my favorite kind of legacy third wave.
Yeah, and it was good because I like knew how to dial coffee in, and I was like obviously the only person that was hired that knew how to do coffee there also.
Yeah, sweet.
So the owner like really liked me because he was like, "Oh, finally
we got
some-
our coffee person.
finally."
Yeah.
So the one manager that was there, he quit and he became like a manager of like the coffee shops that are in like Nordstrom and stuff like that. I don't know.
I bet it's good money.
I think it was. I think
Yeah.
it was like kind of insane.
I bet that's
Um,
great money.
But yeah, then I became the manager there. And I just like really wasn't feeling Worcester at the time. Like it was just like it felt too much like here, like Rochester for me, where I was just like I felt like I didn't get far enough because that's like how I used to see things, where I was just like, I need to
You wanted to
get
feel
out.
like a different vibe.
Yeah, exactly.
Entirely. You want to feel kind of like a different person.
Yeah, like
wherever
on
you
me and
were.
Hannah's
Yeah.
days off, we would drive away from Worcester to
Yeah.
go do fun stuff.
So
like-
that's hard.
Yeah.
That's hard if you don't even have basic entertainment.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm sure Worcester's like I've heard like because all the teachers from Lesley University, they started essentially the same program, but at Clark University in Worcester. And they've been telling me that the city's great now. So I mean, maybe we were just there at a turning point
Just before
Yeah,
everything
just-
took off.
Yeah. But
And maybe, just maybe, it's all your fault.
it probably was.
They were just waiting for you to leave.
Yeah, I'm a dark cloud of negative energy.
It's so
It's
then
also really hilly.
you
Like, why are you so hilly?
Why are you making me work so much?
Yeah,
Worcester?
yeah. I just wanted to walk somewhere.
Yeah, I just wanted to walk somewhere, and everything looks like a highway. Yeah,
So the next year, the ritual move was
to Providence, Rhode Island.
Sweet.
I actually got my job at the Nitro Bar before we moved to Providence.
Cool. Okay.
And I would drive from Worcester
It's a little bit of a
to
drive.
Providence. Yeah, it was like an hour.
Okay.
But that was my first coffee job that wasn't behind a bar.
Okay.
Because the Nitro Bar, they started off as like a coffee cart. They're a young couple who are like my age or maybe a year older than me. And they started off literally not even like the typical like espresso machine coffee cart. It was a cart that just served nitro cold brew.
It's awesome.
But
which is kind of funny for that climate though.
But cold brew in New England is like that's what you drink. Nobody drinks anything else.
All right. I love it.
Brew.
I love
it. Shout out to Giant Coffee Shops who completely changed the paradigm on coffee.
Yeah. So New England's a iced coffee mecca. That's what they drink. And I love that about them.
Okay.
But yeah, Nitro Cart is what they were called before. Now that's Nitro Bar because they have bars now because they have multiple locations. But I was the brewery and wholesale assistant. So we brewed it was essentially set up like a brewery, like you'd brew beer, but for cold brew. So we did like thousands of gallons of cold brew a day.
That's awesome.
And we brewed for like Down East coffee roasters. We brewed for Bolt Coffee.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Wow. We've got a lot of friends who are connected to Bolt in one way or another.
Yeah. We brewed for them. We also got our oat milk from them for some reason at the time.
Hey, why not?
I went to pick it up all
through
the time.
Bolt?
Yeah. I think they just
what did they have?
It was Oatly.
It was Oatly.
I think
it was Oatly before it was like huge.
Well, I think they just had a contract with them.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because, and I don't know if there was some kind of like thing with like, oh, we'll brew your coffee for this price if you order the oat milk so that we don't have to get a contract.
All right. Nice.
Yeah. It was cool.
That's a good idea.
They were very nice people. But yeah, the Nitro Bar has, when I was leaving after I graduated, we kind of decided to move back to Rochester because
you had to move that year.
Yeah, because I was like, you know what, we've been here for too long. No, but Providence
coming up on 10 months, and I'm really uncomfortable.
No, Providence was like one of my favorite places we've ever lived.
Cool. I've only been to Providence. Actually, I've been twice.
It's a very cool city.
It is cool. I like it a lot.
Also, shout out to Fall River, like one of the Portuguese homes in north in the United States.
I had to drive through Fall River. I had to drive through Fall River a lot to like deliver stuff.
Nice.
But yeah, I brewed a bunch of cold brew all the time. I kegged a bunch of cold brew all the time. Then I would deliver the cold brew. And it was awesome because I only worked with the owners would be there sometimes, but it was like me and my old coworker Mike and Max, and then and our dishwasher George.
It's like a small team that all kind of cared about the same things.
Yeah, it was awesome, and we were all like different ages.
Not trying to shoehorn coffee into anything. It's understood that that's the main purpose for being there. Yeah, that's really that will change a lot of things. That's kind of similar to my experience at Joe Bean, being like no, we're like really about coffee. You know what I mean? Like and feeling like you're not forcing
and
it
now
too
they're
much.
they're like blowing up. Like they got like super famous on TikTok and stuff, and like they are opening a shop in New York City soon. They've got 3 or 4 shops in Rhode Island right now. So yeah, it's cool to see. They were like the first like younger entrepreneurial couple that I saw like doing coffee that they like started to actually make money off of it. Because they were doing
rare.
Very rare. They were doing it very like smart, and just like they being young people were like, oh, we can do the things that young people do to get the word out, and they have a really great like social media strategy and stuff, and it blew up.
That's the trick. And it, so that time around like 2022, I feel like that was kind of the last time you could do that as a brand. I feel like now you have to have size and already have the attention for those platforms to really amplify you. Like,
I think it's also like I don't want to say it's luck, because obviously it takes a lot of like effort.
Yeah,
And I
definitely.
think that's the part of it is like you need to put the effort in all the time
All the time.
to the point where like it's exhausting.
And it only really makes sense if you have a dedicated person.
Yeah.
You know.
And it's not just consistency. Early on, consistency was enough
Yeah.
to be visible.
Yeah.
And just like, oh, we posted that we have new drinks every week or
Yeah.
multiple times a week. That was enough to catch on and, oh, we have some aesthetic and then we're this. And now it's like you said, it is a full-time job to do this, to do it well. I mean, it's daunting.
Well, and ultimately the platforms want you to pay.
Yeah.
Of
So like
course.
you can see even like on the dialed in Instagram, which like we do pretty consistently when we're recording. You see that first one after we haven't posted for a little bit always hits like 2,000 views.
Yeah.
Or close to that. And then the next 4, as we're getting more and more consistent, it's like 600, 400, 200. And it's like I get it. You want me to give you money to boost these because you know how much that juicy like 2,000 number was cool to me, right? Like, yeah. So
that was a thing when I was in grad school. We had a whole class on like marketing yourself as an artist, and you essentially had to like sometimes buy followers just so other people would think that you had more followers than you.
I mean, like we were always getting approached with things like that at Fifth Frame and that was like the last time I ran like a really consistent kind of social media presence.
Yeah.
So we're coming up on our first break, but then you move back to Rochester. So run me through speed run 2025 and 26.
All right.
Or 2023 to 26.
All right. So I moved back to Rochester. I helped Fran, the owner of Dogtown, open up Hydra Coffee House. And I started their coffee program there.
Monroe Ave, for those of you who haven't been, check it out. Love the breakfast sandwiches.
Yeah. I then worked there for like, I was the GM there for like a year and a half ish. Then my wife got promoted at her work, and we had to move down to Queens abruptly, kind of.
Okay.
And I got
that did seem kind of sudden at the time.
it was a lot, and we made it through it, and I think it was a interesting experience, but we're in a better spot now. But I worked at Partners Coffee in Long Island City.
That's like not as much of a managerial role, more of like a
shift
supervisor.
Yeah, I was a shift supervisor there, with the intention that they were opening another shop in Williamsburg, and I was supposed to possibly manage that. But then some things happened and we moved back. And I had to be like, oh, hey guys, sorry, I've only been here for like 4 months and you guys were planning some things for me possibly, but I have to go back to my house now. But working there was like crazy because I'd never worked in that high volume of a shop. And they like, even though they're technically like kind of a chain situation, like they were Toby Estates, they're from Australia. And then they rebranded when they moved to New York City.
I didn't realize that those were because they were still Toby's when they first moved.
So then they rebranded so that they kind of like appeared to be a smaller business. But they like really truly care about coffee. Like they source all their own coffee. They like pay their farmers super well. They do a lot of training, and like everybody, like if you don't pull a shot correctly, you have to repull it. Like it's like not the type of thing. It's like, oh, we got 50 people in line, but if that shot's not
that line,
if that shot's not right, you're not giving them a drink.
Do you remember Vicky Wong?
Not well, but yes.
She was one of the managers at Glen Edith a while back. When she moved to New York City, she worked for Toby. She was like one of their trainers and one of their like lead sales type person. So like awesome. It seems like an awesome company. I mean, it
was really
as much of that lives on in Partners. I assume
it was really fun working there for the short-lived time. I learned how to make drinks very well and fast. Because I mean, I've never seen a shop that busy in my whole life besides maybe Gulu Gulu on Halloween.
That's awesome.
So
and then back to Rochester. You hit up some dude. You were like, do you know any coffee jobs? And I was like, I do know one.
I was like, hey, you little rat. You know any jobs?
You live in a cave, right? You know about coffee jobs.
I'm like, hey, I know you're not sleeping. You probably seen but But yeah,
You text me really early in the morning too, actually.
yeah,
But yeah, so and then you ended up at
yeah.
Rococo.
I'm at Rococo Coffee down in the Mercantile on Main. Essentially came in there. The owner Omar, who's like a great, like one of the best owners of a shop that I've worked at. Just very
Wears
kind.
shoes.
Yeah, he wears shoes. He doesn't rip sick bongs in the back or anything like that.
Are you always back there? No, I'm just kidding. I
Um,
assume that's true of Omar.
but
Probably keeps that at home.
but yeah, I started working there. I came in. He had already kind of had a relationship with Joe Bean, so
Cool.
it
Yeah.
felt natural because I had already like been talking to Jared when I worked at Hydra and stuff like that. So I switched out all the coffee, so it's not what it was.
It's not what it was. It's
Yeah.
all Joe Bean.
Yeah, it's
Good
all Joe
stuff.
Bean.
Nice.
I also got rid of all the employees that were working there because they were literally
Who seem like lovely people, and
No.
we need to take a break.
no, they were terrible.
Other than that, it's exactly the same place it was before.
Yeah, other than the coffee being way better and the people that work there being way better and all of us having over 10 years each of a coffee experience.
Yeah, which is huge and rare.
Yeah, I think it's cool. It's weird because nobody goes there. It's like it's a very slow at the moment, but it's like a slow build because I've only been there for like maybe like 5 months.
Yeah.
But I've never worked the summer there or anything like that, so I'm hoping that people realize like, oh, the staff is all new here and they don't suck and they're good at what they do and the coffee's
They're fine.
better. Yeah. Yeah. And they're like, oh, they're like fine.
like good
Yeah.
job, guys.
Yeah, they're
All right, we really do need to take a break.
All right.
Definitely go down to Rococo at the Mercantile on
Yeah.
Main. What are the hours, real quick?
8 to 3 Monday through Friday.
All right, so
No
this is your-
weekends yet.
no weekends. Oh,
Yeah.
that yet is very pregnant.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we're gonna take a quick break.
And we'll be right back.
Okay.
All right, mic's back on. We're gonna jump in. Yeah, I did 1,000. I did a liter water. All right, starting back up. 3, 2, 1.
And we are back. And after only some light Richard Cologne trash talk.
Yes.
Definitely less than usual.
So for the social media, Richard Cologne, the profile of a security guard in every part of his life.
We're gonna have you on another episode, Billy, just to talk about your encounters with Richard Cologne, the security guard at School of the Arts.
Yeah, it was funny because when he said that to me, I had no recollection.
Oh, maybe he was more of a spy type, like
yeah,
just like
he was in the shadows.
Fellow young people.
Yeah.
All right, so if you can't tell, Billy and I, we just met. Definitely not spent hours at the roastery, just chilling, drinking coffee and talking shit. So when you opened Hydra, you reached out to Rory, because you were looking for like a little more challenge, a little more something new to learn. Rory of Ugly Duck Coffee. Just, I know everyone who listens to this knows who we're talking about, but just to be clear. And you were looking to learn a little more about coffee, and then Rory was like, why don't you go hang out at the roastery with Wade? And I mean, I don't know that I taught you much, but it
you definitely talked a lot.
You don't talk enough. Here's the thing about me at the roastery. I'm normally talking that much to the machine. Yeah, exactly.
He's making peanuts action noises.
I did all my fun equations on the board with you.
Yeah.
And you
Water
kept coming
plus
back.
Coffee equals tasty.
Well, you have to add the fire first. Fire plus coffee, then water. Fire plus coffee, then metal plus coffee. That's the grinding, and then water plus coffee.
Yeah,
you got to get it. Yeah. It's
very complicated.
That's why you need the whiteboard.
That's why you need a coffee master's degree.
Exactly.
You also just need new markers.
I got new markers, and those are dead now too.
Oh,
there
you go.
I mean, it's destroying these expo
It's
markers.
one of those lessons. Don't use Sharpie markers on a whiteboard. I keep telling you, Wade, don't do it.
Billy, did you know?
Did you know?
Did you know?
I thought you wanted that then.
So, before you left, you were thinking about FOV. Before you moved to Queens.
Yeah.
It was like something you wanted to do. When you came back from Queens, I would say that the vision has kind of been your main focus. Even working at Rococo and doing great stuff there, making the changes you've made and helping them kind of bring their coffee level up and doing like, going to Joe Bean and that kind of thing. Like you still, FOV has been the thing. So what is FOV? Where does it come from? And what are you hoping to accomplish?
So I mean, as an artist, FOV comes from fauvism or fauvism, depending on who you're talking to. It's like a French like art style from like the early 1900s. Basically just like very vibrant colors and aggressive brush strokes. And like when these artists like Matisse and stuff were like first making these paintings, most critics were like, oh, these guys are I think it was like Le Fauve or something like that, which means wild beast. Basically calling them like animals.
They paint like animals.
Yeah, exactly. So FOV actually technically started when I was in Providence. Me and one of my friends, Josiah, were going to start a skateboard company called FOV. Which was going to be like super, because we're both visual artists, so we were going to make like these super like cool artsy skateboards, like limited run stuff and like clothes and stuff like that. And then that, like me living in Providence, him living in Rochester, it just like wasn't coming into fruition. So I like technically I came up with the name Fauve, so I just like hit him up and like I was like, "Hey,
Can I have that?
can I just like you it's too good of a name to not use."
Yeah, exactly.
And I was like, "Oh, Fauve coffee," and I was thinking like because the coffees I enjoy are really bright, like juicy, like funky kind of stuff. So I was like, if I just produce these types of coffees and they're kind of like going with the name, like this very like vibrant, like the vibrancy of like a nice,
Bright
yeah,
flavors, bright
yeah,
colors. Yeah,
exactly.
like things that really pop.
And like coffee is this wild thing. And like, I just felt like it like worked very well together. And Fauve coffee, I was like, there's always coffee shops always have to have like almost like one word type name. And people are like, oh, I'm going to like say coffee and like stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Um, and I was like, "That's a cool word," basically. And it's like goes with 2 things I love, which is painting and coffee, and it just made sense. And Fauve Coffee is like FC, which is like Flower City, and like there
Oh,
was like
nice.
this
Yeah,
like
I had not
Rochester.
made that connection.
Yeah, there's like this Rochester connection that
Nice,
I
alright.
had in like the back of my head, even though I don't want it to be like I don't wanna be one of those like coffee companies. It's like Rochester strong, like get way too into it.
Wait a
You know,
minute.
just like
Wait a minute.
I
What are
feel
you
like
what are we parodying
alright,
here?
I don't know. I just think that sometimes people,
Oh, I get
when
it.
they're
Yeah,
from, like,
okay.
a certain
Yeah, it's not
city,
cool to like it here. Yeah,
it's just like
is that what you
it
mean?
doesn't have to be the personality of the thing. Like, your thing can have its own personality. It
Yes,
doesn't
and
have to be where it's
well,
from.
there you go. I mean, like, and I think that's a big piece of the project, and kinda you're gonna see it in the first couple coffees we roll out, this being kind of the second one on the
Yeah.
docket, is that it definitely has its own identity.
Mhm.
It's very much it's gonna be unique. It's gonna be these coffees that you're not getting everywhere else, like and honestly, like, for Aporia, I've always been very just, like, clean, sweet, basic, simple, approachable, so, like, this is, like, even stretch for me, so it's really cool that, we don't have to say other shops are lame for liking it here.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is, like, developing your own identity and really pushing that out, not just in, like, your branding,
Mhm.
not just in your name, but in the cup.
Yeah.
So talk about, like do you wanna how let's talk about the very first coffee that's coming out because it's coming out February 21st.
Mhm.
It's gonna be out at the warehouse, 175 Dewey. And I'm roasting it this Wednesday, and, like, the process of getting to this coffee is almost comical, the number
Yeah.
of, like, twists and turns because we knew what we were looking for,
Mhm.
and we had tried a few things that, like, Marvin was looking at dropping for low phase, and that's kinda the model you're looking at, right? Like, you're gonna drop some bags,
Mhm.
you're gonna brew some coffee, come on out, we're gonna put up a gallery, right, of your original work.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
the whole idea behind Fauve, like, once I have money, because 'cause I'm a poor person, but, like, once I have money is I'd love to open a shop that is part coffee shop, part, like, white wall art gallery, like, have, like, shows that are, like, jurred and, like, bring this, like, another art, like, cultural center to Rochester where we can, like, hire artists to teach classes for people that'll be, like, ticketed and, like, stuff like that, like, you have
And
to
everyone just
RSVP.
hopped up on caffeine.
Yeah,
Hell
exactly.
yeah.
Who doesn't wanna, like,
Yeah.
learn how to do, like, a monotype and then, like, be all jittery?
Jittery,
Yeah.
exactly, yeah,
Or,
yeah.
like, yeah, try to, give, everybody a bunch of, like, lino block carving tools and get them all hyped up on caffeine and see if their fingers
Yeah,
survive.
I was just gonna say, find really good
Yeah.
insurance, man. That's
But, like, no, I just think that, like, I love working in coffee, and I love being an artist, and obviously, working in coffee and being an artist are 2 things that don't always make you a lot of money,
right.
but it would be great to be able to, like, share both of those things in the same space, making a really cool spot
And
for
they are things that
Rochester.
you make spaces to invite other people
Yeah.
into. So we were sourcing a bunch of coffees. We tried all kinds of stuff that Marvin was looking at, and a couple of things we were like kind of excited about, and then the crops would run out.
Yeah, and they got swept out from under us. One of
It,
them we were about to order,
yeah, yep.
and
We were
literally
ordering it
that
like that
morning,
day.
it
Yep.
got bought.
It was a small like really limited.
It's
That
like
was Rwanda, right? The Rwanda.
I think so, and it tasted like straight up like watermelon
Yeah,
water.
it
Like, it
was
was, like, insane.
really special, natural or honey Rwanda. And then we went to Gold Mountain
Mhm.
because I was trolling their website and like just saw like, oh wow, they've done all these fun maceration experiments. And even once we had the Gold Mountains in, like there was some really, really nice stuff on the table there.
Yeah.
And Ben Weiner, who is just an excellent coffee professional and a great connect, and like, has been selling coffee to shops here or roasters here in Rochester for a long time.
Yeah, fascinating guy. I had a chance to interview him once. Really interesting guy.
Oh man, do you think we could repost that to our timeline sometime? Because he
I
is
think
like,
so.
yeah, Ben Weiner's a great dude.
It's been a
He's
while.
great hang.
We
We
can
could
look
just
back at
talk. I bet he would do another interview.
Oh,
I bet
100%.
he would do another call.
Yeah,
But
he's a fascinating guy.
yeah, another Massachusetts guy too, I think.
Yeah.
So maybe he's in Providence now. Anyway,
I think he was in Maryland.
is he in Maryland now?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know.
Yeah. Somewhere where there's water.
Yeah, some aren't those all is there really a different no, I'm just kidding. So he gave me like these great prices in a very like informal conversation. And we found a couple we liked that and they turned out to be the really good price points. And then the next time I talked to him, the price points had all changed and everything was more expensive.
Yeah.
And we're like, all right, so we're gonna have to go back and find something else now. But two of the coffees that we had on the table that day, three of the coffees that we had on the table that day, I was like, I really love these. So I went and bought larger quantities of two of them. And then this third one was the one that you're actually releasing.
Yeah.
And I said to him, like, I could get that, but like, I don't know, man, it's just so expensive. And he dropped it back down to the price point he had originally given us. Like, it was just this funny, like, okay. So I called Billy. I'm like, actually, we got it at that price. So like, let's go ahead and drop it. And then it is a carbonic maceration, Pacamara, wine yeast inoculated. And what did you love about this coffee?
I like when things have a funkiness to them, even though I don't drink alcohol or anything, but I know that like that's what a lot of people like about like wines and beers and stuff like that.
That's awesome. Yeah.
And it just had a flavor that I had never had in coffee before because it was almost like this like straight like Concord grape kind of like
Yeah, it absolutely
it almost
is.
had like a natural like dryness to it and everything. It was like but then also juicy at the same time. It was just like I had never experienced a coffee like that besides that other crazy one that he sent that like
the fruit prosecco.
the lavender.
Oh, right. Yeah. So they did a lavender maceration.
Yeah. That thing was crazy.
It didn't even taste like coffee.
Yeah. That's gotta be
It
wild.
didn't taste anything like coffee.
Because lavender I really like, but it is a very divisive flavor and aroma for people.
Yeah, it was almost hard to do the cupping with that on the table because every sip you took out of something or slurp or whatever you want to call it, whatever the noise you people make. Yeah.
That you people is roasters, by the way. That's who you people. Let's just be really clear here.
Yeah. But it was almost like hard to do the cupping because it was so
potent.
Pungent.
Yeah,
it was like
the whole
you could
room.
smell the lavender off of it, which is awesome because it's like there was nothing to it. Wasn't like it was sprayed with like the carcinogenic oils that people spray their coffee with or anything. It was just like naturally like I think stuff like that is sick because it's like who's even thinking about doing that type of thing besides like true coffee people.
Chris, you should pull this up. Go to Gold Mountain and check their offerings because they have a bunch of new macerations. So you're like, who is even thinking of that? This year they did a pumpkin spice maceration.
Oh,
really?
Which I'm just like fascinated
I'm a
by.
big pumpkin spice girly. So
same. Oh my gosh, how have we never talked about? I love pumpkin. I love a PSL.
I have my wife make me pumpkin pie for my birthday cake, and my birthday's April 2nd. So
very seasonal.
Yeah,
nailed it. Yeah, just right there in the pocket.
My biggest problem is cloves. I don't like cloves.
Okay, fair.
I'm seeing the offerings I see. Yeah, fruit prosecco, watermelon maceration,
fruit prosecco is also
maceration.
Amazing. Yeah, the Pacamara, that's the one we're releasing.
The watermelon maceration was really good. Also,
yes, yep.
Macatura maceration, which I don't even know what a maracatura is.
Do you want to know, or you just
no? Please.
so Margot Yipe is the giant variety, right?
Okay.
And Caturra is a dwarf variety, and essentially they were trying to get Caturra yields with Margot Yipe flavor, and they crossed them. Now this variety is so genetically unstable that if you get cross pollination over like 2-3 generations, you can just end up with Katura bushes.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's like it's a labor of love, but it is like a really unique, really specific. We want this, and we bring them together. But yeah, so I was actually talking to Ben about that. Like 3 generations on, you got to make sure you're keeping all the pests away and like things aren't getting cross
Yeah.
pollinated. What
So the
else?
rest of the maceration: orange, tropical pear, passion fruit, sugar cane, hibiscus, papaya,
Hibiscus.
which I mean, I
I bet
love
that's
that
gonna
idea.
rock.
Yeah.
Then I also see, many what we would now consider regular processes,
Yeah, yeah.
but then I'm seeing like specific white grapes that are used, plum sauce. I mean, these are just like there's so
And
many
it should
different
be said,
ones.
some of the, names are, like, washed coffees that they have named the lot for the thing that they most approximate the flavor to. So, like,
Yeah.
the blueberry jelly lot, I brought
Mhm.
that in, but
Hmm.
that's just basically a maracatura, that when it's washed, it tastes like blueberries,
Yeah.
Yeah,
so they
that's what
call it
I'm
blueberry
seeing. So it
jelly,
was
so
like I was trying to figure out which ones were and weren't. But I mean, that's a lot of different experimentation. And there's some on there. I mean, like sugarcane to me sounds fascinating as a rum person.
Right.
I love like pressed sugarcane rums.
Well,
And
and running up the microbial activity,
oh, and
right? It's just gonna be
there's so much in sugarcane, especially with spontaneous fermentation.
seriously,
It
I bet
just
it's
it
gonna be
goes
wild.
wild.
I bet it's good. So to further plug Gold Mountain just for a couple of things is first I want to say go to their Instagram. They have posted a lot of these going into the tank this
Mhm.
year. And it just looks fascinating. It looks really cool. The lavender this year they did basically however much they did pre-orders and however much got pre-ordered, that's how much they're doing. So they're growing that one. And their prices are like we've said, they're super high,
Yeah.
but their prices are all cost of production. How do we pay our growers more? How do we engage in biodynamic farming? And
Mhm.
yeah, we incur more costs, but like you get a super high quality product that like has this super unique identity, like
Mhm.
you're talking about for FOV, and the price, the money is going like back into
Yeah,
the
it's like
community. So
ethically
yeah, it's like a
sourced.
it's such a better way, and I'm looking for more and more ways to position myself in Emporia to bring in more of these coffees. Maybe more of like the washed ones because that's more my speed. But like it's super fun to get to work with Billy and with Fav and bring in like something like as interesting as the Pacamara wine yeast
Yeah.
maceration, and it came in the most beautiful
Yeah, it's like
painted
hand
wooden
painted
box. Yeah,
box.
hand painted
Jesus.
wooden
Yeah.
box. So we'll put that up on our socials too. Like, and it was all like vac sealed inside. It was just it's a brilliant operation. I love what they're doing. And
So
we
cool.
found you your coffee.
Yeah.
So 21st, what time did we say?
12 to 4.
12 to 4, right.
Yeah, and the art show, if you go and find my Instagram, Billy T Lyons, my art is sad. Some would say it's because I it's
Oh,
about
because of all the Mets hats. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. All right. Uh I've never
Yes.
but
Oh.
but yeah, I make art about like my upbringing and stuff like that in the inner city and like what those like economic struggles and like drug addiction and stuff like that. So my art's kind of always has like this moodiness to it, which I think will be really cool in the setting that it'll be in because it's like the old warehouse
Yeah,
and
it
it's like
really is just
super
a
yeah,
warehouse.
it's super
Yeah.
DIY. The show's only up for like one day. I love stuff like that. But the
Can I ask
coffee will be very
Very
bright,
bright, very
very
sunny.
bright, and it'll be
It's gonna
a
pop.
yeah, it'll be a good
Yeah.
contradiction.
I love that.
Yeah.
Can I ask an art? Sorry to ask an art question in the middle of this. I sit in on too many art podcasts now. So when you're describing it being, there's a darkness to it.
Yeah.
Would you say it's more gritty or melancholic, or is it just more reality of, like, is it more just like verite of the experience
I think
that you were growing up in? Like, because there's all different shades of
yeah, so I think it's like
darkness.
I think it's like all of the above almost. Like it's very much like I grew up during like the crack epidemic and grew up in like pretty severe poverty. Um and my work is almost like I'm really into like German expressionism,
Mm.
specifically like printmaking.
The Germans are known for their lightness, so that makes sense.
Yeah. So this like it's very much like a hybrid of like 90s cartoons meets German expressionism, where it's
Mm.
like almost childlike because it's all these things that were happening when I was growing up as a kid and in the 90s and stuff like that. So it's very like you're looking at like I look at artists like Jacob Lawrence and like Peter Saul and like uh I don't know, like looking at cartoons like old Ren and Stimpy type stuff where it's like
Duckman, like
yeah,
those
it's just
things
like
that were like way too adult for the people who
yeah,
were watching
exactly.
them.
And like that's how it feels because I was growing up in these situations that were way too adult for me as a child.
Yeah.
And then the art kind of like reflects that where it's like, oh, this almost looks like it could be a fun cartoon. And then you look closer and you're like, oh, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
Like yeah, so
So
it's gonna be some of that, but a little bit weirder this time.
Billy has done designs for Pizza Wizard
Oh,
and
okay, that makes
Enjoy
sense.
Coffee Roasters.
Yeah.
Justin Innes, whose name gets mentioned here a
Probably,
lot. We should
probably one of my favorite coffee roasters. Definitely more of my favorite than Wade.
Yeah. Well, so Justin was called on this podcast your favorite coffee roaster's favorite coffee roaster, and
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that's
no,
probably
he's
that's
awesome.
pretty
I
accurate.
have never met him in real life.
What?
Yeah, even though I lived in the same city as him for a
I've
year.
never lived in the same city as him, but I've met him several times.
And I can't wait till one day meet Justin. We talk to each other all the time.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's really funny. It's like one of those things where it's like, oh yeah, I kind of have a friend that I've never met.
That's
But yeah,
awesome.
he's great, and
Yeah, he is great.
his coffees are like incredible. And he likes my art, which is cool.
Yes,
because-
yeah. And famously, I hate your art. So
Yeah.
like that's why he's your favorite. Not
Yeah.
me. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
exactly.
mostly that.
All right. So that's Saturday, and then March 21st, we're doing the second drop.
Yeah.
That's gonna be this Ethiopian, the anaerobic.
Mhm.
Same idea, a little more tropical, a little
Yeah.
more pineapple, maybe
Yeah.
not as much funk
Yeah.
to it. Not
Getting
the
rid of this
Concord grape thing.
winter stuff and bringing in some
By
brighter.
March 21st,
Oh yeah, I mean it's
we'll have one
it's-
sunny day, I'm sure.
It'll be fine.
We'll have
Yeah.
one- yeah.
subtropical, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, this drop, it's gonna be beach themed. We're gonna fill the parking lot over on Dewey with water.
Yep,
And you're
sand,
gonna have
yeah,
to sit in
yep.
the Dewey Ave water. And if you've never sat in Dewey Ave water, then you're not from Rochester.
And
Have you really lived?
yeah.
and once you've done that, you can walk around barefoot at any coffee shop,
Yeah,
and it won't
exactly.
matter at
Yeah.
all. Like just to really
Yeah.
tie the room together here. All right. So and then Fall of Coffee, follow. That one's gonna have pre-orders. We're doing pre-orders for the anaerobic.
I'm gonna do a pre-order for that for like all my friends and stuff who have reached out that aren't from the area, so that I can actually ship stuff to people.
And to be clear, the drop on the 21st of February is super limited.
Yeah,
It's first come, first serve. You need to get there.
Yeah,
And you need to check out the art, and you need to buy a bag
Yeah,
of coffee because
very-
it's gonna be gone.
very small amount of coffee, very small amount of some merch.
Like the hat.
Yeah,
The
not
hat.
that this hat's a one of one only because I only had one hat. It wasn't. It
You
wasn't
could only
on
get one printed.
Yeah, it wasn't on purpose. It was a tester. There will be a few hats, few hoodies. There'll be some donuts from Augie's,
Sweet.
which is a new bakery. They're going to be like a kind of grape pie donut, kind of going with the
Going with the
whole-
Concord. Grape.
yeah.
Wow. Very thematic.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm conceptual.
What else? we're gonna hit our final question
Oh please.
if we're ready.
All right,
Describe for me
all right.
your favorite cup of coffee you've ever had.
So I'm a big cold brew guy, and
That hasn't come through.
Yeah,
It's you're full of surprises. You're
Yeah.
taking us on a left turn here.
yeah. So I very much enjoy cold brew, and me and my wife went on our honeymoon a couple years ago to we did like a kind of cross Eastern Canada kind of trip. So we went like Quebec City, then hit Halifax and Prince Edward Island, and then down to Montreal. And I was super sick the first half of our honeymoon. which sucked.
Yeah,
and we were
that's
in Quebec
unreal.
City for one day, and I was like, you know what? I don't care that I'm like dying right now. We're gonna walk around Quebec City because we're only here for a day, and
This
it
is
was
worth it.
yeah, and it was really silly for us to only plan one day there because it's a beautiful place. But we were just like walking around and like all over, and I was just like literally snot coming down my nose, like shivering. It was raining.
Oh god.
And
What time of year was it?
May.
Okay. It's not as bad as it could be, but like not
yeah.
like the hot months. Like that could still be a cold rain.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we happened to be like walking by this one part of Quebec. I don't really remember the area, but it had like some cool shops and stuff. And then there was a shop called I might butcher the name, but it's called like Kantook. It's like Kantook. And it was a really cool shop. You walked in, they had their roaster just like sitting there, and they were like roasting coffee like in the shop while you were like ordering and stuff. It was really small. And I got a cold brew, and it was the like fruitiest cold brew I've ever had in my life. It was like I was drinking like straight juice. And I had like no idea if it was like I asked them, I was like, what is this? And it happened to be like an Ethiopian that they had. So I like bought a bag of it. But I don't know if it's because I was like on my deathbed or not, but I was like, this is the most amazing thing of all time.
That's fantastic. I mean, and you could still have that sensory experience. It must have been good.
Yeah,
you had that sensory experience
even
with your head
even
all
with my head clogged up, I could taste how like
that's really cool. Yeah,
awesomely bright and fruity that coffee was. And that whenever I like think of coffees that I've had, that one always pops into my head. And so I'm like, yeah, that must be like the best one.
That's amazing. I love that answer. And again, like yours is probably the most coffee centric answer we've gotten yet, because like you remember the coffee itself. But again, it's like we want coffee to be so much more of an experience than just what's in the cup. So, and I think we're going to be providing that experience February 21st. Chris, any final thoughts or questions?
No, I think it sounds good. So what are the plugs again for the Instagram, because that's where they're mostly going to catch where pop-ups and when they're happening?
So it's fauve_coffee. It's FAUVE. And then also if you want to follow my normal Instagram, it's just Billy T Lyons. That's where it's LYONS. That's where I post
sadboy.art.
Yeah, that's where I post all my sad boy art and my content, which is just nothing.
You mostly making coffee usually.
Yeah, it's me pouring mediocre swans in the morning when I'm half asleep.
Hey, it's something that yeah. The internet needs more of that.
I'm a big milk wiggle guy.
Milk wiggle. The milk wiggler.
Yeah. I'm Billy the milk wiggler.
When they find the bodies, that's going to be your serial killer name. I had to get one more in there. So Aporia Coffee Co. We're actually going to be releasing the Anaerobic Ethiopia before Billy, and we're doing like a really intentional rollout. So be on the lookout for that. We are going to mention Fauve and Billy and all that, but this coffee is just blowing our minds. So we want to give it some nice treatment. Aporia Coffee Co. and AM/FM. So we're going to be rolling that out through our partner cafe there, AM/FM. And I think that's pretty much what I have to plug right now. Oh, there's one more industry night. I don't know if this will be out by then. Thursday the 19th at Ugly Duck. We've got an ASL workshop. So
that'll be great.
Yeah. ASL for service. Definitely need to head out there and check that out.
Absolutely. And make sure everybody goes out and checks out all the other shows on the Lunch Hour Podcast Network. Want to welcome Rob Bell officially from both Behind the Glass and now part of Plants and Beats. He makes lo-fi music under the name Allo-Fi and then talks about plants on the same thing. It's a real delight to listen to. Also want you to check out Bossy ROC, a couple women business owners, Kelly Metris and Kelly Bush, talking about the ups and downs of running businesses and being very honest. They were nominated for Best Podcast this year. It's a really great listen. So hopefully you check that out. And Wade, I think we're going to stay
dialed in.
This has been a presentation of the Lunch Hour Podcast Network.
Make sure to check out all of Billy's art at sadboy.traumadump.art.coffee.net.